Good morning, everybody. We're talking about wild hair because I could not finish blow drying my hair last night. It was just too hot.
Yeah, I think it looks fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
It's a little
took a
crazy
straightener to it
when
this
you look
morning, so it's
closely
all
at it,
good.
yeah.
How are you staying cool in the heat? We're going to talk about that coming up. We're also going to talk about screen time for kids. Looking forward to all of that. Stand by. We're going to join our TV viewers. Hey, good morning to you. It's 5:12 on the start of your Thursday morning. We're inching closer to the weekend.
We're getting there.
We're living for it this week. It's been a hot one. It's been a hot one for kids who are going to school, people who are going to work, especially the people who are out working in the heat.
If you're working outside, I was out yesterday and I saw just a bunch of landscapers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember I did that all through college, and I remember those days where you're just drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
And you couldn't. I had to wear jeans back then because you had to protect yourself.
Sure.
And oh man, those are tough days.
I know. Our Maki Becker did a great story. She was looking at some of the hottest jobs in Western New York yesterday.
Oh.
Landscapers was one of them.
Okay.
She also went to a pizza place where they're cooking in front of what I think the guy said 5,000 degrees, 500. I can't remember what he said, but ridiculously hot ovens. They had 5 of them going.
No one wants to cook at home, so we'll call the pizza place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are and they're doing chicken wings too. They got the fryers going. It was wild. How about that thunder and lightning that's been going?
Crazy. We have the storms right now, especially north of Buffalo, Niagara County, and Orleans County, dealing with some heavy rain as these showers and thunder showers continue to move off toward the east. The heavy rain has moved through Lockport, Newfane, and Ridgeway as these showers and storms continue to move eastward across the area. I had a report of some damage too in Gasport along Route 31. So heads up as some trees are down in some spots. 71 degrees in Buffalo, 72 in Niagara Falls. We do have that heat advisory in effect for all of Western New York through 8 p.m. There we go with the radar showing the heavy rain right now moving across basically from Buffalo to Batavia northward. That's where you're going to find most of the activity. We had a lot more lightning about an hour ago or so, but still some lightning that's flashing and brightening up the skies up in the north towns right along the 990 there, Amherst toward Pendleton, Lockport, over toward Albion. And like I mentioned, we had some report of a tree down here in Gasport along 31. So heads up, this morning you could see some trees down. Howard's saying lots of lightning. And boy, the sky was just so bright this morning with the light show. We had the heavy rain in some spots, so roads will be very wet. And as the day moves along, the threat is there for another round of some severe weather, especially this afternoon. Main threat would be the flash flooding with the potential for some very heavy rain. Similar to what we saw yesterday, Allegheny County had a flash flood warning overnight. Right. And now further east of Buffalo, you're shaded in yellow. Places like Warsaw and Wellsville, you folks have a slight risk for severe storms, so expect a better chance for severe weather later today.
Jeff Baker says the dog's running around like a mad dog because of the lightning and the thunder. When I was driving in, oh my goodness, it was lightning every 5 seconds.
The sky was bright, and you had the windshield wipers on as fast as you could go because the rain was coming down so heavily. So I
beat the rain, so I just had you know what I mean, still hot, air and just lightning.
I did not. I was like, oh my gosh.
You were 2 hands on the wheel.
I really just like to, now often you say, boy, I really just like to get to work.
Yeah.
That was, because you sometimes you just can't see anything. That was the case this morning. And with some of the storms packing quite a punch, you could see some wind damage, some hail is possible, and also those heavy rains. And we did have the tree down in Gasport.
Yeah. All right. So keep letting us know what you're seeing outside your door. We're going to come back in a second and talk about screen time and kids, because I think that's a really important one for us to talk about, especially as we inch closer to summer. But first, we're going to look at some of today's top stories. As a Paddock Chevrolet Park in the town of Tonawanda continues to get upgrades, teams are starting to use the new rugby and soccer pitches. Rentals have also begun at the Paddock Ice Arena. Today, the first high school hockey game will be played there. Kenmore East and West High Schools playing each other in a scrimmage tonight at 6. The park's pickleball and beach volleyball courts are expected to open next week, the Spray Park in early August. In Buffalo, today marks the start of an important annual tradition, the 11-day Power Play. The fundraiser raises money for cancer research. Tonight from 6 to 8:30, there's a kickoff ceremony at the Harbor Center with games, food, face painting, and you can meet and greet Sabretooth. Puck drop on the 11-day Power Play starts at 6 this morning. And in Delaware Park, there's sure to be some amazing talent on display as Shakespeare in the Park returns for its 49th season. The Winter's Tale runs today until July 14th. Then from July 25th through August 18th will be the Comedy of Errors. Tonight's show starts at 7. All shows are free. Okay, so that starts tonight. Shakespeare in the Park.
A lot going on. Oh, I saw the 11-day brought back memories.
Yep.
All my friends who I skated with for 11 days a few years ago. So it starts up tonight. If you get the chance, if you want some air conditioning, go in, watch hockey. It's always fun, always a great time. And that starts tonight. That's the community shift. So people will be playing every 3 hours.
Right. It's not the same, the 11-day power play. Sometimes they do the same guys playing for 11 days, but this is community.
We need a few years to recover from that last one. So it's just the community.
Oh,
shifts
you're
right
fine. Linda wants to know if we're going to get any rain in Brant.
Brant looks to be okay right now, south of Buffalo. Most of the activity is to the north, but as the day moves along, Linda, you will have that chance for a shower or a thunder shower. The heavy rain is not going to be there in Brant. If you look northward, you can see quite a light show.
Okay, so Robin's chiming in on this story, and we're going to bring up her comment in 1 second. But first, we're going to talk about screen time and kids. And keep any weather questions you have, anything you want to know, just drop us a line. We'll try to answer them. But because you've got kids too, okay, so there's this lot of conversation about it. So on Monday, the U.S. Surgeon General proposed social media apps get warning labels like alcohol and cigarettes get warning labels.
Sounds fine to me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's so much connected to them.
And, think about like your life. You're in middle school, you do something goofy, and then you forget about it.
Right.
But no, someone catches it on video because everyone wants to record every single moment of their life.
Everything, right?
And then it's there forever. And you're like, oh, wow. I remember when I was, making my mistakes as a 6th grader, and here everyone gets to see it. Yeah, I had no problem with it. Even for we take, as people in the media, take a lot of keyboard warrior abuse.
Oh my gosh!
But it's easy for us because we're older, and honestly, it comes a point where you just don't care,
right?
But can you say that to a 13-year-old who doesn't have
because they don't get it?
Yeah, they don't get it, and it's I feel for them. Going through middle school is tough enough, but I couldn't imagine every mistake or every goofy thing you do is caught on your camera or someone else's, and it's there forever.
Howard, I get your point. Does anybody really even pay
attention? That's another super valid point, Howard.
So right, totally, I get it. You can put the warning label on anything, but we need to actually act on it.
Yeah, and sometimes kids will see, "Ooh, warning label. I'm going to buy that."
Ooh, yeah, look at that.
I don't know if they still do CDs, but that's what I'm going to do now instead.
I know, right? Okay, so listen, they also said how important it is that parents not only make rules, but set an example.
Yeah,
that's. It can't be a rules through the end, not for me when it comes to parents sometimes. Now, in some capacity, you can. Listen, you have a cell phone for work, you're working, it is what it is, right? But that's important to show that you can do non-screen time too.
I take my son to the library all the time. I much prefer having a book in my hand than my phone. But so I do try to show him that. It is tough because you are so connected. And this week, with the weather being the way it was, I felt like I had to check all the time. And, and I'll say that too, doing a little work. It's the heat index is 101. So I got to let people know that.
Absolutely. There are times you got to check your email, got to get back to somebody. But Jeanette, this just made me laugh because didn't your parents used to say this? Her dad used to be concerned when they sat too close to the TV or stood in front of the microwave. She can't imagine him being a parent today with the screen time. He was nuts.
Yeah. Screen time's a real battle. It's hot out. Oh, hey, go outside and run around for a bit. And then, you want your kid to be safe, but also not looking. And then they're all hunched over.
I know.
20 years from now, we're going to have whole generations like this.
It's all about the balance, right? I was watching this really interesting video where someone suggested you can do it a couple ways. So you can either do a certain amount per day or, and this woman said she kind of leaned toward this, doing a certain amount per week. So your kids have to learn how to regulate that. So if they binge it, they're done.
I like that idea.
I thought it was a really great idea too, because she said it really kind of teaches you that concept.
We'll set a timer.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, you've got 30 minutes and then there's a little timer. And when it goes off, all right, put it away.
Yeah.
But it's tough because there's just such instant gratification sometimes with that. And it's, it's almost like, hey, wait till the real world where it's not instant gratification all the time. And you've got to work for things, and it's going to be It's going to be tough.
Well, thanks for chiming in, everybody. We'll probably talk about this again at 8:00 on Second Cup. Okay. Glad to have you with us. Up after this, Aaron's tracking those storms that are rolling through.
Yeah, North Towns, you're dealing with some heavy rain right now, frequent lightning, and even some strong winds. We'll be tracking that for you.